All right. Hi, everybody. This is Nasser Rodriguez with Comic Arts San Antonio, CASA for short. And we are the only convention here in San Antonio that focuses on comic book writers and artists. Today, we're speaking to Angel Maldonado, aka Violent T, one of the comic book creators that will be joining us on October 5th at CASA. So, Angel, thanks so much for joining me today.
Hi, thank you.
Awesome, man. So let's get started first. Like, where does I guess the artist name Violent T come from?
It comes from because I really like drinking tea. It's like my favorite drink,
Uh-huh.
but I'm also someone who likes horror stuff and who likes creepy things. And so
Yeah.
I just put like violent tea together because I have like a
Nice.
little mascot and he's like a teacup and he's
Uh-huh.
holding a knife. So
Yeah, it's super cute. I like, and that's like I guess that's your style, right? Like cute horror, cutesy horror.
yes,
Okay. That's really unique. I like that. And
thank you.
as far as tea, my wife's a big tea drinker too. So I know she's gonna ask what is your favorite tea?
Oh man. I mean, just the basic. I really like drinking sweet tea. That's like what mostly gives me energy. But flavored tea, I would say it's like strawberry tea.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
yeah,
cool. That's
yeah.
awesome. She likes this like Earl Grey rose tea.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like these little like drops that you like put into your teacup and it like dissolves. So that's kind of cool.
Oh,
Maybe try
yeah.
that out. She gets them on Amazon. But
Yes.
anyway, here's okay, so cool. Like we say, you like horror, you like cutesy to meld both of those worlds together. Um, and that's pretty like you're in a place. I feel like Texas is a really big horror fandom. Like
Really?
really, yeah, because we've got like Texas Frightmare like up in Dallas that's going on. Like I think it's
Oh.
this weekend. We've got like the horror shows here in town, the small ones that go on, like a Monster Con and all that. So do you not find like people like horror here?
Uh, not well, I don't know. Then again, I don't really get out as much, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I can understand that. But that's cool. I think people like your stuff. But like, let's start like from the beginning then. So, have you always been like a comic book fan?
Um, so when I was a kid, I always did draw comics.
Hmm.
Um, and my mom like would keep all of them, but they were very like random, like scribbles and
Hmm.
stuff. But funny enough, I never actually read like any comics like as a kid.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I think it was only until like high school that I started to like slowly like read into like genres and like things even like webtoon or
Hmm.
um like online comics like that I
Yeah.
started to really get into it.
Okay. So, like, can you remember like what was, I guess, your inspiration for you drawing stuff if you weren't really reading comics or weren't into comics? Like, what did you see that made you want to draw your own stuff?
Um, that's a good question. I think it's just because like at first I created like a zine because for all my life I never wanted to do comics because I was
Hmm.
like that looks hard and that takes a lot of time and I was
Hmm.
like I don't think I could ever do that.
Hmm.
But then I learned about zines and how
Okay.
that they're very short
Mhm.
and I was like I don't think I've seen a lot of horror zines. So I
Yeah.
was like well maybe I should make one and then I made a 6-page zine. Um, and I actually had a lot of fun making it. And
Hmm.
so I was like, okay, I was like, that wasn't so bad. I was like, maybe I can make another zine. But
Yeah.
then that one ended up being like 25 pages instead
Oh,
of like
okay.
6 pages. That I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so this is basically a mini comic. And I
Yeah.
was like, I guess this is just what I like to do now. Like, I just like making comics now. And it's a very like new world for me because like I said, I never wanted to do comics because I was like,
Yeah.
that looks hard. It's very
Yeah.
tedious. And I was like, I can't do that. But now I'm like sucked into it and
Yeah.
it's all I want to do now. So
Yeah. Well,
um
once you started doing it, you realize like, hey, I can do this, huh?
yeah, but I think just yeah, the inspiration just came from like I was just like, well, I haven't seen a lot of people make like horror zines or
Yeah.
like horror little booklets or something.
Mhm.
So I was like, maybe I should try doing that.
Yeah, I guess now that you mention it, I'm trying to like think back to like zines that I've picked up or seen at like some of the zine fests around here, the area. And yeah, it's like think like it's a lot of slice of life and that kind of stuff, but I can't think of anything that was like spooky or horror or anything like that.
Yeah.
Look at that. You just created like a whole niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about animation? Did you watch any like anime growing up? Do you like was any of that part of your influence or?
Um, for sure, my influence is like Junji Ito
Oh,
because
okay.
I really do enjoy Japanese horror because Japanese horror is just so different from like
Hmm.
American horror. And I think they come up with like the most like craziest stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like in terms of like movies and like manga and comics and all that.
Yeah.
So he definitely like inspired me a lot to like um look further into like this whole like world for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's cool. So is it mostly Japanese horror or is there any American horror that you like or that you get inspiration from or you're not really like into the American horror stuff?
uh I'm not too into yeah, like
Really?
American horror. It's mostly just
Okay.
Japanese horror for sure.
Okay. Cool. I
Yeah.
might, is there anything that you'd recommend? Because I'm not really familiar with the Japanese horror stuff. Is there like a movie or something you're like, you got to watch this one?
Mm, so let's see. So Japanese horror. Let's see. Well, there is Junji Ito's like Uzumaki movie that he
Okay.
made a long time ago, and I thought that was pretty good. It like,
Really?
you know, for when it came out, I think it's good. I know I grew up watching The Grudge, and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that was a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
Because to me, I was like, okay, that's creepy, you know.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I guess I have seen that now that you mention it. So I have seen like The Grudge and like The Ring and like some of that stuff that
yeah,
well either it was Japanese or Japanese influence to that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
Even
cool.
like their urban legends too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you mentioned that that first like 6 page zine that you made. What was that one about? Can you tell us a little bit about that first one?
So that one is called My Collection of Fingers, and
Okay.
it's about this mortician who has an obsession with like fingers and stuff. And
Okay.
in this zine, he just talks about like what how he gets them, what he likes to do with them. It's very short, so
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that is creepy and horror. Huh? Okay.
Thank you. I try.
And then so then from there you said you went to like pretty much a full fledged comic book. You said that was 24 pages?
Yes.
Which one is that one?
So that one's called Thalassophobia because
Okay.
with that one I was starting to like get into like backroom stuff, but I also like liminal space stuff.
Hmm.
And I was also looking more into like what scared me and like
Okay.
putting it out like as a comic. And thalassophobia is definitely one of them for me, which is just having a fear of like large bodies of water. Um,
Oh, okay.
and that one is about like this little girl who explores this hospital that her dad works at, but she stumbles upon a room called the pool room, and it's like this abandoned pool inside of a hospital.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you going to have both of those October 5th at Casa or are those still in print?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
awesome. Okay,
absolutely.
cool. And any like new stuff that you're excited to be working on and maybe you have at Casa?
Yeah. So I'm working on a graphic novel, and this one really isn't like horror like based or anything. It's got like thriller aspects, I'd say.
Okay.
So I'm working on that, and I hope to debut it, or at least to start a Kickstarter and just like have word of it like at my table. That
Okay.
way, like I can hopefully get it funded if people are interested in it and they like it, because I'm trying to at least create or make about 15-20 pages so that people
Mhm.
can read it and then see if they like it, and then they can
Okay.
support it and
Yeah.
debut it. I'm gonna make a few more zines, and I have another mini comic that I'm working on, so I can have that on my table too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Can we hear about what that one is or that one's still under wraps?
That one, this one has the mini comic that I'm doing. It's this one's about like this guy in high school
Mhm.
who's sending a love letter to his crush, but things go wrong when he sends it pretty
Oh,
much.
okay.
So
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds interesting already. Like I can't wait to see that one.
thank you.
So on the fisherman one, that's the graphic novel you said you're working on, right?
Yes.
Do you already have in mind like how many pages it's gonna be when you finish it, or is that still something you're working through?
It's still something I'm working through.
Okay.
I I usually like write and draw as I go,
Hmm.
and I've reached around 30 pages, but I'm not even to the middle
Hmm.
of my story yet, so I have no idea how long it's
Okay.
going to be,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, you know, a lot of it right now, I've been asking you about like your influences on art and stuff like that, and I keep thinking about you as an artist. But yeah, the way you mentioned it, you're the writer and the artist on these. So, is there any writing influences or things that you were reading growing up or stuff that really like influenced how you write?
Um, that's a good question too. I don't I don't really think so, or I'm not too sure.
Did you grow up reading like certain things like manga or like the Harry Potter books or like anything like that?
I see. Oh, definitely Goosebumps and
Oh, okay.
Fear Street.
Okay.
Those were my two favorite like things to read as a kid. So
Okay. So a lot of
definitely,
R.L. Stein. Okay.
yes, I
Cool.
loved him. So
Yeah. That's cool, man. That does make sense because you know you're getting that like creepy stuff as like a kid, and then now you're like taking that farther to a little more creepy, right?
yes.
Okay, awesome, man. And so do you do like conventions right now regularly or shows, or is that something that you're just starting?
For me, it's something that I'm starting, but I
Okay.
have like helped my girlfriend because she's also an artist, and
Oh,
so
okay.
I would be her helper. And
Okay.
after helping her, I was like, this is something that I would like to start doing too. So
Yeah, yeah.
I started looking for like conventions like in
Mhm.
my area, and then y'all's like
Cool.
ad came up and everything, and so I just decided like, yeah, like this would be a perfect place to show like some stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's good to know that the advertising's working. So,
Yeah.
and you're based here in San Antonio, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool, man. Well, we are super excited to have you at the show. Um, as we wrap up here, can you tell people that want to keep up with your work and updates and like when you announce the Kickstarter, where would they follow you? Any social media or websites or anything?
Yes, I have Instagram. I have a Tumblr. I do have Twitter, but I'm hardly on Twitter. So my
Yeah.
Instagram, I'm on the most. So
Okay.
definitely
What's the
Instagram.
Instagram handle?
It's Violent T. It's like violent and then it's dot T.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then is there a website? I thought I had seen that you've got a website where you've got stuff on there.
Yes, I do have a website.
Okay. And that's linked in your Instagram bio?
Yes, it's in my link tree.
Okay, cool, man. So definitely everybody, if you're interested in, there goes the kitty right there. Just went past you.
Oh, dang
But
it.
everybody, if you're interested in creepy, spooky, but cute stuff, definitely check out Angel's work. He's going to be at CASA this October 5th at the Marriott Airport. He'll be listed as Violent T on the website and at his table. So definitely please come him out. And thank you, Angel, for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
All right.